Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Shorty on the Fly. And today we're going to stick with our theme of panfish flies, and we're going to do the Chartreuse Softie, which you see in front of you. It's a pretty easy fly to replicate, and I'm going to show you a couple little tricks to make it all happen. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a size 10 dry fly hook that I'm using for my hook today, and we're going to also be using Chartreuse 60 Danville as our thread base. So let's get the thread started on there in the usual fashion. I'm leaving about a hook eye width behind the hook eye in order to attach my thread, and I'm going to run it back and then come in and snip off the waist and go right on back to the hook bend. And for my abdomen today, I'm using turkey biots in caddis green. Okay, and I've stripped one off, and I'm using the translucent side, or the transparent side, kind of toward the front. There's also a little notch that if I tie it in like this, it's going to give me that raised edge when I wrap the biot, which is kind of what I'm looking for here. I'm just going to go ahead and run the thread all the way back up to the front of the hook. And then what I like to do when I'm getting my biot started is I like to get it started with my hand. And once I'm satisfied that things are wrapping the way I want them to, I'll come in and grab it with hackle pliers and go the rest of the way with them. It kind of makes it a little easier to hang on to it and get those nice even overlapping wraps as I go up the hook. Try not to bang the camera too badly with my hand as I come around. And we get almost back up to the front. I'm going to come in and tie it off. Okay. And then we'll just come in here and snip off the waist. And then clean things up just a little bit with a couple of wraps and give me a good place to put my thorax. And in this case, we're staying with the green theme, and I'm using, let's see, get that in focus, SLF Prism in caddis green. I'm just going to take little wisps of that off and spin them right onto the thread. I'm going to put about 1.5 inch noodle worth on there, and we'll go ahead and get that wrapped. And again, I want to leave a good space up here in order to wrap my hackle. And for hackle today, I'm using a Brahma hen hackle. I like these. You can use partridge if that's all you have, but I like the Brahma hen, and this is in a color called Cream Badger, and this is what I've plucked off. And then in order to prepare this, I'm going to take all these lower webby fibers off, and we'll turn it around here, and I'm going to pull back the fibers until I'm left with a tip. Looks about like that. I'm going to come in and just cut that off to leave myself a little triangle landing spot. And now, in order to get this to tie in correctly, I'm going to give the bobbin a counterclockwise spin, which will then make the thread want to jump rearward and capture my hackle nicely. Just like that. Okay? And now for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this with a pair of plunger style hackle pliers. I think it makes it a lot easier to deal with a soft hackle. And then I'm going to start wrapping. And as I wrap, I'm going to preen back those fibers. I'm going to take probably 3 full wraps. Okay, and then I'm going to come in and capture it with the thread. And even if it looks a little funky right now, don't worry. We'll fix that in just a second. And then come in and trim away the rest of that. All right, now see that got that one little wonky one sticking out there? Don't worry about that. We're gonna fix that right now. I'm gonna pull everything back and out of the way. I'm gonna start wrapping back over it. Get that one little one there that doesn't want to cooperate. We're gonna force him into compliance. There we go. And then we just keep wrapping back. Take wraps right behind the previous one, and you'll be forming a nice little head on your fly, and it will put your hackle fibers in the correct position. See that? Came out really nice. All right, now we're just going to come in and whip finish that. And then I'm going to fancy it up just a tad and show you what to do if you screw this up. Okay, so I'm going to fancy my head up a little bit with some Solarez Bone Dry. And I'm going to make a mistake here so I can show you how to fix it. So I'm putting the Bone Dry on the head, and oopsie daisy, I got a little bit into the eye of the hook. Well, what if that happens? Is it a fatal flaw? No, it's not. Just trim off a hackle feather and shove it down through the eye and pull it through, and that clears it right out. And now we'll come ahead and hit it with the torch. And there we have it. There is our Chartreuse Softie. Okay, these are easy, and this is for a panfish, but I'm sure if you drop the size of the hook down to a 14 or a 16, you could get trout on this, taking it for a caddis of some sort, you know, in its intermittent stage. But go ahead, tie them up, get out there. The weather's beautiful these days. I bid you peace.